Hello.
Hi, doctors.
Good. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Can hear, doctor.
All right, clear. Because no,
Is
because
it possible to change the background?
yes, we're gonna do that. Wait, let me see how to change the background. I'm getting old already. I don't even know how to change the background. Oh my God.
Oh, you see the stop video
Nazrin, you're like.
and then choose virtual.
Wait, Nazrin's like.
Oh, okay. 1 second. 1 second.
Where do I go? Where do I go?
Background settings. Background
Where is
settings.
Where is it?
Down, just beside the.
Your background don't want to accept me.
Doctor, do you have your green screen on?
Green screen.
Green screen.
Yeah. If it's on, then
Wait. How do I on the green screen?
No, you have. Okay.
I think you have to turn it off.
Yeah, if it is on, you have to turn it off. It seems.
Where?
Okay. Wait.
Virtual back. Background.
Not there.
Yeah, just this. And
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Screen,
Sorry for the.
It's okay. Hello, welcome everyone.
Yes, welcome everyone. I see we have around 36 participants already.
Good morning, guys. Wow.
All okay?
No, okay.
Did you switch off your virtual? No, green screen. Your green screen is still on. So.
I have green. If I off it, like.
Then you select the wallpaper now. Select the wallpaper.
Select.
No, you can.
No, can't. Your device requires a green screen to support virtual background. Man. Okay, so. Oh no.
Okay.
Wait, some troubleshoot. Apologies.
Actually, I think Abi had the same problem yesterday. But
So
because she's using the PIDC Zoom account, so we didn't. She's gonna off her camera the whole time now. But we can try fixing it for a bit.
Okay.
1 second.
You see, it's more natural background. Let's see if it works or not. Wow, too bright. Let's see. Nope, not working.
I think it's okay, lah, doctor. You can choose
Yep,
to have
yep.
the background or not.
Yeah, I think we
Maybe-
can continue
Yeah.
the background. Yes.
Yeah, may I have a nice background?
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. Your background is also nice, doctor. Nothing to hide.
Alright,
Nothing to
great.
hide.
Nice, right?
Okay.
Are
So
you
shall we
ready
start?
now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let everyone in. Good morning. Good morning, housekeeper, Bilami. Oh, we're going live on Facebook as well. That's nice. Enjoy the live session, guys.
That's good.
Hello, good morning, Dr. V, Dr. Mac, and Nazreen. Sky. Hey, hi, Sky. How are you, Sky? Been long. And congrats, Sky, for the good
Hey,
news.
Dr. Sky. Congrats
Maybe
on your
more good news
wedding.
coming up soon. Maybe you'll see Sky Junior soon. Good morning, Stakit.
Morning,
Okay.
everyone. Welcome. Should we start now?
Start now?
Okay. Go ahead.
At what time? Yeah, we can start already 11:07. We already have 52, 53 people coming in. Yes, so let's the housekeeping panelists take over with their rules and introduction of their what they're doing. So very good. Yeah, good.
Good morning and welcome all dentists and dentists to be to the first episode of Dent-Rewind made real by PVC. For this episode, the topic is Dent-Rewind, career pathway for dental graduates and postgraduates prospects.
What is Dent-Rewind, you all may ask? Dent-Rewind, as the name suggests, is an abbreviate of dentist or dentistry rewind. So in this section, we will be bringing our speakers, Dr. V and Dr. Magna, back down to memory lane as they share with us their journey and recall and give us tips and tricks on how we can do it, just like them.
Before that, allow us to introduce ourselves. I'm Archana Sivadas.
And I'm Nazreen Abdul Rashid, and today we will be your hosts. You will have the opportunity to ask the speakers questions by typing in the chat box. You can see the chat box down below, Q&A. You can ask them any questions and we will attend to them along the meeting. So you don't have to worry about leaving it to the end. You can start immediately. Today I would like to inform everyone that we have not one, but two talented and hardworking speakers with us today. They are Dr. Dinesh and Dr. Magna. So before we start, we would like to have a little introduction about them.
Dr. V is a mentor, dental educator, and researcher. He is also the founder of Dental Diary on Instagram and FB and the pioneer MFDS or MFD trainer in Malaysia. Dr. V is currently pursuing specialization in OMOP in University of Malaya. In addition to that, he is actively doing research and social services. He has published various articles at national and international levels, and in 2021, he has been awarded with Jamil Rais Fellow, Paul Harris Fellow, and Successful People in Malaysia by British Media. Congratulations, Doctor. How are you today? Are you ready to be bombarded by questions?
Good morning, Dr. Aksana. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Yeah, pretty much we're ready. It's a nice Saturday morning. Weather's nice. Everything seems good. Everyone is there. So yes, we are here to have a chill, relaxed talk and talk about experience and share what are the possibilities out there for young dentists out there as well.
Thank you for the kind introduction and a few words from Dr. V. Now, let me introduce Dr. Magna. Dr. Magna completed her BDS and MDS in oral medicine and oral radiology in India. She is currently pursuing her PhD in UM. Her field of expertise is in oral disease, TMDs, and digital imaging. She has published a number of articles that are recognized nationally and international levels. Right now, her research area is regarding forensic imaging. It is based on a 3D method of age estimation using teeth. Currently, she is a lecturer at Benchmark Dental Education and works as an oral radiology consultant for Moderna Dental Clinic in Selangor. Talk about a multitasking queen, right? So now let us bring Dr. Magna to the screen to let her say a few words. Dr. Magna?
Hi, thank you, Dr. Nazreen. Thank you so much for your, really, kind introduction. I don't think so. It's so much, but we are all work in progress, I believe, and we strive to learn more each day. So I think this webinar is going to be all about this, to be a little better in what we're doing and what you want to do. So, but it's going to be very casual. We'll just, keep a casual interview, give some tips and tricks to how to go about. So let's have a fruitful, session ahead. Thank you.
Okay, doctors, without further ado, let's jump right into the topic. Doctors, since both of you are doing two different things, we are sure that both of you have a broad view of what it's like after dental school. What are the other career options out there for us other than being clinicians?
Other than being clinicians, yes. So I think I will start because since my field of interest is in research, more on research. So I'll talk a little about that, what I have done and what can be done. What you guys can look into. Other than that, Dr. V will have a lot, of helpful tips and tricks for you guys. So for me, I think basically my interest has always been in radiology since undergraduate time. So, and I feel that it's like such, medicine and oral radiology. Since I did, okay, let me start. Since I did my oral medicine and oral radiology in India, it's a bit different, perhaps, from what it is in Malaysia. Okay, so I think here in Malaysia, it is oral medicine and oral pathology, but in India, I did oral medicine and oral radiology. So I was always quite interested in this field because it's something that, as a student used to be like, we don't know. We don't know what is happening. It's just, radiology is something like, black and white. So I used to, sorry, I just go back. I think I'm like coming too forward in the screen. Yep. So yes, so it's something more of, your curiosity. I think you will know when you are mostly in your final year, which subjects you are more curious about, and it is not wrong to dwell into something that you are interested rather than going for something that you have monetary monetary expectations. First you have to dwell into something that you really actually like, right? So so medicine and radiology is something that I'll talk about a bit, and then go into research in other subjects. So for example, I did in medicine and radiology. So there are, after I did my post graduation there are certain specialization, subspecialization that you can explore through the field of oral medicine. Like oral medicine, you would have heard about trigeminal neuralgia. So you can go into subspecialization into orofacial pain. You can go through you can open a specialist clinic. When you have a subspecialization in oral medicine, orofacial pain, that would also include temporomandibular disorders. So it's so vast. Oral medicine as a whole is so vast. You can get, you can learn degrees. You can go join certificate courses in neuromuscular medicine. There is another branch of neuromuscular medicine which deals with all your muscles and nerves, all involving your head and neck region. Okay, there is another, again, you have yours in completely different on sleep medicine. All this we are specialized as a dentist. We are what to say, uh, like we can dwell and we can treat patients, in sleep medicine, in sleep patient with sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea. We can deal patients in that. We can go into dermatology, all that. We have so many scopes that we can go. We can get attached to hospital base. We can open our specialty clinic. That is what I can do through my field of oral medicine. And oral radiology, yes, since I'm doing my research in forensic radiology right now, I'm going to talk more about forensic medicine and radiology a bit maybe later, but I'm just going to give. So yeah, through my specialization, you can go venture into forensic odontology, forensic medicine, and and radiology consultancy is always there, which I am doing currently, which is exploring more into the artificial intelligence side and 3D planning and 3D modeling, all that. So it's like a lot, like just from one small subject. It's just 8 subjects, right? You have in dental subjects or more than 8 subjects. Just from one subject you can diverse into so many things. So similarly in your other fields as well, and resto, endo, ortho, I'm pretty sure you have so many things that you can explore. So that is something. And in research category, something like, I think it would be more specific. I want to talk more about that later. I want Dr. V to add a bit more on that.
All right. Thanks. So basically, again, back to the question asked by our panelists. What's the question again? Can you repeat so that the people know what is it again?
The question
Dr.
is, what are the other career options out there other than being clinicians?
Okay, so I hope everyone got that question. So basically, gold standard for every dentist is well known. Like, we go through our 5 year dental school, we go through our 1+2 or 3 years or 2 years or 1 year service of compulsory service in the government sector. And then either you stay in government or after that you go to private, work for 2-3 years to 5 years, open your clinic. All right, that's a pathway. That's obviously a pathway which seems like, oh, okay, that's the only pathways there. But there are always other pathways, like how Dr. Magna told, go into education, research, subspecialty. Same wise, have you guys ever thought of who runs the business for dental material companies like 3M or GC company? Who are they? Or Strawman? Who are they? It's dentists. So it's a corporate world. It's a corporate life. So dentists who wants to venture into corporate life, want to be a CEO or CA or CFO, or managing director, you guys can venture into corporate life company, into all the dental material companies, suppliers company, etc. And it's really good pay. They pay you really well, no joke. And you guys have the opportunity to travel, especially if you guys are attached to international company. For example, you guys are attached to 3M. 3M is based in all over the world. So currently, due to pandemic, you can't travel. But there's no pandemic, you'll be traveling around, and everything is paid by. Imagine that. Nice, right?
Yes.
And the pay is good. Other options, see, they're happy already. So other options there are, you want to go into entrepreneurship. There is something there. I think we have people like coming up like Restaurant. If you guys have heard of it, yeah, Restaurant. They do the resto lights, etc., and all that. They're entrepreneurship company, going slowly. When they first grow, they were very slow, but it'll take time. But now they're doing pretty well. Other than that, other than entrepreneurship, you guys even can venture into, if you guys are interested. Maybe some of you have always liked to watch CSI, and CSI. You
Yes.
guys can either go into forensic, right? Other part of forensic is you have the medical legal part. So you guys actually can take up another degree in law and be a medical legal lawyer. We have dentists have done that. That's why I'm telling this. That's very, very, very handsomely paid, as well as it's a very interesting job. Very how to say, even for me, and I hear the case and the wow, that's interesting. You have to go through all that. And my friend was there. Other than that, we have research. Research pretty much. I think research Dr. McNair will tell more on that. Other than that, we have what else we have? Medical legal education. Education. You guys can join as a education. Education can be either in university, can be either in government universities. You can join in USM, UKM, etc. Or you can join in private university like PIDC itself. Or you guys can even learn some kind of subspecialty, like how Dr. Magna said. You don't have to be, doesn't mean you have to be a specialist. You can learn subspecialty being a GP. So you do a postgraduate diploma papers, for example, like in aesthetics or in biomimetic. and you can start your own courses. For example, like Dr. Yazid from Malacca, he does anterior composite. Dr. Sean does rubber dam. Dr. Caitlin from Penang, she's in Penang. If you guys are in Penang, do drop by, see her. She does in biomimetic. So we have a lot of people doing that. So it's another option you guys can check on. Other than that option, if you guys type of like, okay, I want to be related to clinical work, but not exactly clinical, more managing. You guys can join like dental chain companies like Wong and Partners, Thews. What else we have? We have Myden Care. We have a lot of this chain branch company coming. So they want a dentist to become the manager. So you be the manager, taking care of 5 to 6 clinics. So that is also another career option. See, there's a lot actually coming up, you know. So that's a few options there. Other than that, I think that about the research part.
Research part, we can maybe like go a bit later. We can proceed to other questions, and then again maybe purely go for the research questions.
That sounds good, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. V and Dr. Magna, for that eye opener. I knew that there were other fields in dentistry. However, I didn't know it was that wide. So thank you. The most important questions for every fresh grads is, how do we find what we want to pursue in? Like, what would be your opinions, doctors? Like, how do you find what you like?
What you like? All right. I'll go first. So for me, I was quite fortunate or lucky, because when for me reading is a bit difficult, obviously because of my I have something called as mild dyslexia kind of thing. So I have troublesome in reading. I have read certain things many times to understand it. So when I was in first year, the most interesting part was we were doing the dental histology. Right. So in dental histology, you don't see any readings. There's no words. There's no numbers. It just cells, different colors, different cells look like. So for me, it was like, oh my god, I can understand that. And the best part was I can understand that, but my friends can understand that. So I was like, I always tell, see, this is how I feel when you guys read. You guys don't understand what cell you're looking like, and you guys, I don't understand. You guys like, why you can't understand? I have to read 2-3 times. So that's how I feel. When you guys see the pathology slide. So felt a different world in there. They have a miniature world, how it grows. So from there, had some interest in pathology especially. So from there, developed my interest, and currently pursuing that as well. I finished my dental school in 2014. That was like 6-7 years ago. So so I was lucky. Some of my friends, they ventured of what they like. After finishing their dental school, they worked for 5-6 years, and then they found what they like. Okay, it's not wrong. Okay, it's not wrong to start late. It's not like, oh, it's a race. No, it's not a race at all. Some people lucky, you can start early. Some people will know the experience a bit slower. Okay, some people are confused. Oh no, oral maxillofacial surgery specialty or orthodontics. So what they do, they combine both. I know some people take two specialty together, like Dr. Katiruban. He is a both qualified OMFS and ortho specialist. Prof. Prabha, he's both forensic and radiology specialist. Prof. Prabha is Dr. Magna's supervisor. Prof. Yusmi also, oral maxillofacial surgery and radiology specialist. So we have a lot of specialists. People are doing dual specialty, etc., and all that. So
and they're still doing the specialization. They're not stopping. Like they are already honorary professors, but it doesn't stop them. You never know when your interest strikes, or or maybe you always wanted to do. There's a chance you're getting. So it's like, I don't think so there's any fixed rule like, okay, what should I do? It's something that you kind to learn over time. So I feel that is something that you should not choose something under pressure. That's what I have seen a lot of my colleagues gone through. You should not choose something under like what society feels. It's like, oh, this is cool, or this is really, this is what money making fail, the scope is not there. If the scope is not there, you create the scope, right? So that is one thing that you should keep in mind, right? For me, even for like, I don't know here in Malaysia what perspective you have for medicine or radiology But in India, they're like, hey, that would be the last subject, people will go for specialization. They'll go, the top one will be ortho and surgery. They'll, all the seats will get filled first. Like, oh, people will go for ortho, surgery, endo, all that, one after that. And then, medicine and neurology will be like something that they will take, like, if they don't have any other option. But I was the one who, was like taking oral medicine and radiology, like from beginning. Like I was like, okay, I'll take that. But there's like, why do you take? There's no scope. There's like, yeah, even in Malaysia, I can see after coming here, it's like something that is very upcoming. The oral radiology field and all that. There's not. So I like, I feel fortunate in taking this, that I can build scope. I can do a lot of things in that. So I feel, do something that you feel you are not just, oh, like, okay, following someone else. Do something that you really want to do, because this is something that you'll be stuck till you retire. So that is something you have to really be, give a thought on.
Yeah, I do, Dr. Meghna, that you do what you like. Okay, do what you like. There's no point of like, oh, okay, obviously being an orthodontist or being a oral maxillary surgeon, wow, it's fancy name, surgeon, wow, orthodontist, wow, a lot of clinical practice, it just sounds fancy and all that. But what's the point of you did that? It sounds fancy doing, but you're not happy down deep, right? So always do what you like.
And I want to add on, like, do not think like I have faced, and my colleagues have faced, like, oh, I'm not good at this, or my handwork is not good, oh, I suck at this. It's nothing like that. There are so many, certificate. I mean, you can develop your skills. You can go through, courses. You can practice. Practice makes everyone perfect, right? You can never base on something that, okay, in that few minimal years in your college, because you have like whatever few 1 month posting, 2 month posting, just that few months of posting, you cannot decide that you're good at it or not, right? You have to, you want to put your effort in that. Even after undergraduate, you try to hone that skills of yours. That is what is good thing about us as a human, right? We can hone our skills, that is. So I think, so do not try to think like, oh, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. It's just like, pursue something that you like, and just try to perfect yourself in that. So
Another way in that, just want to add, another way in that, before you go for the question asked by the participant, one of the way to know what you like, right? Maybe you might know during uni, maybe you might know during the KKM posting. Another thing is like, once you graduate, you have your posting. Get attached to some private clinics. Okay, get attached to private clinics or hospital-based or private specialists. They will help for sure. Also, even after you're working, do attach. Over the weekend you're free. Drop by. They will help you, because I used to attach that. I used to attach, like, other than my KKM posting and all that. I used to go like to attach to a specialist private clinic just to see what is digital dentistry, because I don't know what digital dentistry. I never learned my uni. I never learned in KKM. And not all clinic has it. And now I'm practicing it. Now I'm practicing digital dentistry. Even yesterday I was till 10:30, almost 10:30. Me and my colleague were discussing about a case of digital dentistry. It's quite interesting. So attachment, learn attachment, so that you can find out what you like. Okay, explore all the field. Take your time. This is not a race.
yes.
Okay, take your time. Okay, you saw our iPhone founder Steve Jobs. He became a billionaire when he was like what, 50s, in his 50s, right? While Bill Gates became a billionaire when he's like what, his 30s. So it's not a race, right? Take your time. No rush. I think as long as you're happy and you're doing well. Maybe we can go to some question from the participant.
Yeah. The first question that we have is from Fumugi. What are the options a BDS graduate have to practice their career in overseas? Are we supposed to sit for any papers, like how medical grads have options of sitting for MRSC papers, and any pathway for dentistry grads?
Dr. Meghna will take the questions.
Yeah, I'll just take a part, and then Vinish can also help. So because I have come from India till here, so one thing is, I'm not qualified to practice as yet, okay, as a specialist, or okay, as a special or as a graduate also, you're not qualified to just directly practice, right? So you have to get your, what to say, you have to clear a professional qualifying exam. Each country will have their own professional qualifying exam. Okay, so you have to, if you want to practice abroad, anywhere in Australia, anywhere in New Zealand or UK or US, you always have to clear an exam. So that exam will be basically two parts. One will be your theory and one will be practical. So it will basically your all undergraduate student studies, and maybe it might incorporate your basic medical science part and all. And part two will be your what to say, preclinicals and on patient. Okay, so that is what you, if you want to practice abroad. It's quite, it's not that easy, but it's not that hard also. If you know, like you have done your basic is strong in your undergraduate, it's your you should be okay, you know. But it's and then suppose if you like how medical grads have options for MRSC. I'm not sure about MRSC paper. I think Vinesh would know that. And other pathway for dentistry grads is you can join universities, right? Immediately after grads, you can join universities in other colleges until and unless you get your, like you're waiting for your license. Okay, you can join universities because that is qualified. Your but depends on, I think Malaysia, if you have done your undergraduates, is it recognized all over the world? Yeah, it's recognized. If it is recognized all over the world, you can join a university and then build your what to say, formation from that. Like you make the connections and then you see where you want to venture into. Or you can always think of that. It just because sometimes you just have to like, oh, you know, like you don't have a plan, but you want to go there and see what options you want to go for. So you can just join university, junior lecture. But before that, you need to have some kind of strong resume, right? You need to have attachment. You need to have some clinical experience. If they're just not going to absorb you like that. So one thing, yes, you need to have at least 2 years minimum of work experience. You need to have some attachment to certain fields that you want to interested in. You need to have some research papers done. So all that. And another pathway is what my friends in Canada they're doing is they have joined. I think in what to say, public health dentistry, as in. So that is something that I am not very aware, but I know in Canada they have joined in public health dentistry. They did give an exam, they cleared, and then they few of them also have joined as a hygienist. So I think you're aware of what a hygienist is, but it's a very well paid job, very well paid job. So yes, I think hygienist is something that they have to go to Canada or US or something, and they have tried giving the qualifying exams and they're waiting for it. So meanwhile, they have joined as hygienist over there. So it's something that they're doing like that. So there are ways, different options that you can do when if you want to go abroad, because not that easy. You have to keep in mind, and you have to be open to different options. You can't be like, oh, go there, I will work, and you can't just open a clinic, So you have to consider a lot of options if you want to go abroad, settle abroad, and all that. So, and yes, what you was telling about the corporate companies, that is they're all over the world. You can always join in corporate companies like Strawman and all that. So you can always join that as a dental what to say, graduate. Dinesh, want to add
just add on there. By the way, MRCS is actually a very qualification of paper for medical people, for medical personnel.
So
but it's not a qualifying exam to go to other countries. It's basically MRCS is basically membership in ocular surgery so that you have to do that paper as a qualification before you go into any surgical specialty. So it is similar to our MFDS, MFD papers. So your MFD, MFDS papers are basically more for you to go into post-graduation program, not to practice in other countries. So one thing, I'll be very honest that everyone have to know that every country will cater professional job, including lawyer, medical, or dentistry, for their local people, for their nation, not for outsiders first. All right. But if we want to go, there is a possibility. First, take the professional qualifying exam of that country. Pass that, get into the field. Like US, like in US, like how Dr. Magna said, you can't just pass your qualifying exam. US and Canada, you can't just pass your qualifying exam and then straight practice there. You have to practice as a dental hygienist first for 2-3 years. Okay, while you sit for the exam, because the exam will take some time. After completing the exam, you have to go through a 2 years attachment there in the dental school. So to upgrade to their system is DDS. Even though if you're called, like if you do in Indonesia, it's called like DDS, still they're not recognized there. They want US DDS or Canada US. So you have to undergo 2 years training there. After that, you can qualify or practice as a full dentist. If in UK, just sit for their NBE, I think. Okay, and National Board Examination. You pass that, you can go through that. So NBE formula is similar chapter syllabus as MFDS. Okay, they have the part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is theory. Part 1 is theory and part 2 is practical. And then I think the practical has the part 2 has preclinicals and clinicals.
Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, if you want to practice in Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore, last time you can directly practice. You can sit for the exam, go straightforward. But now they want you to become a PR first to sit for the exam. So to become PR in Singapore, Australia, or New Zealand, it's quite easy. Just work there for 3 years. So during that 3 years, what are you going to work as? Hygienist. You're going to work as hygienist. All right. And hygienist is not like how you think is a dental assistant here. Hygienist there, you guys do what the dentist will do. Class 1 filling, class 2 filling, scaling, polishing, extraction, dentures, etc., etc. Okay. So you'll work there as 1 to 2 years as dentist, get your PR, sit for the exam, and then you join as a doctor, as a dentist in that particular clinic. That's how they will invest in you. They take you as hygienist. They know, oh, you're qualified dentist. Take you as hygienist. Make sure you go through the exam so they can absorb you. So it's a long-term scenario. Okay, it seems tough, but it's doable. We have friends in Canada. We have friends in US. We have friends in UK. We have friends in practicing in New Zealand, Australia, even in Singapore. Many places. So it is doable. Just that you want to, you don't want to.
It's a commitment, like you can't back out from where you want to settle, where you don't want to settle. So yeah, it's a long-term commitment. It's not fast. It's a slow process, and you have to be patient with it.
Yep. All right, it's doable. All right. I went into my specialization program after 7 years of working. Okay, after 7 years of working. That also I've done my MFDS. So I've done my MJDF, my MFDS, MFD. I've done MBA, I've done FAD, and whatever, a few other things I invested and all that along the way. Yeah, then you get into it. So it's a slow process because obviously when you want to be a specialist or when you go to practice in a high-end dentistry country as first world countries, you have to be in par to a certain level. All right. Maybe we can go to next questions. Hope that answers Dr.
Komugi. Thank you, doctor, for answering Komugi's question. When that question came up, I also had some question marks also, but now it's all clear already. So we'll move on to the next question by our participants. It's by Sakit. She said, hello, doctors. What can you advise to those students who are interested in 2 things and having a hard time choosing one? Have you ever encountered the same thing before?
Oh, yes, for sure. As a dentist, obviously, we all will be there. I was dilemma between I've seen my friend, oh my God, they're doing aesthetic works. And okay, I want to do aesthetics. So I did fellowship in aesthetics. And then like, oh no, I still want to do my specialization. Okay, I've got to do my specialization. I like business field. I want to do something in business. I did my MBA. So the thing is, you have to explore it first. Like we said, it's not explore it. If you like OMFS and auto, explore. Attach to a specialist in both the clinics. See how it goes. And then you choose what you like. Because obviously at the end of the day, you will like one more than another. It's common. It's very clear cut. There's no such thing as we will like both together. Like, how like the parent will say, I have 2 kids. I like both equally. I love them both equally. They always will have one favorite. I'm just being honest. So we have to be honest to ourselves, say which one we like most. Okay, but eventually in both. All right. And maybe if you like both, maybe you can, it doesn't mean you have to do both specialty. You can do one specialty and then another one, you learn how to do it and attach that to your whatever.
You can do certificate courses in the other one. So you can always do 2, 3. There's no issue in that. But maybe you can't go ahead and do 4 years specialization in 2 or 3. Just you can focus on one and the other. You can get a postgraduate diploma, all that. So there's nothing wrong in that, but you just have to keep in mind, like the time and the money factors and all that. You have to be a bit smart in planning all that. But I think you get, because just because you're starting now, you'll be a bit confused once you get enough experience, because you'll be joining government, what do you say, KKM, right? KKM. So you will get an idea and it will work out. You don't have to, what to say, start planning from now on. It's okay to like several things.
Yeah, no issues. So
No
another
issues.
thing is, even being a specialist is not compulsory. Oh no, I have to be a specialist. No, 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 no. Please know that being a specialist doesn't mean you are
Good at it.
good at it, or you're above your other general practitioner colleagues. No, no, not at all. I'll tell you honestly. I have known some general practitioners who does restoration work, who does endodontic work better than a specialist. I'm not going to lie. All right, and they are recognized. They are recognized as internationally speakers as well. So can you imagine that I've seen GP who are doing endodontics using CBC, tricks, and AI, using laser to do endodontics and all that, which even specialists look, oh my god, you do all that. Okay, so sometimes we are lucky to get into specialized programs, right? But sometimes we are less blessed to not, we want to get, but you can't into. But don't see it as less blessed. See it blessing in disguise. Choose other things. There is always postgraduate diplomas. There is certification programs. You can do that and go along with it. Like for example, do you guys know who Stanley Malamed is?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, the father of
Yeah.
dental LA,
Yeah.
right? He is the only dentist in the world who is given special certificate or special license to practice to perform general anesthesia, which is a medical specialty. And he is not a specialist. He's not a specialist. He's just a dentist, a DDS dentist. Imagine that. And do you know something called as Invisalign? Have you heard of Invisalign?
Yes.
Every orthodontic uses it. That was found by non-specialists.
Okay.
That was found by non-specialists. So it doesn't mean you have to be a specialist to do something. So it's up to you. Okay, don't always think, oh my god, I only be specialist. No, no, no. It's all same. It depends how you practice. What I advise is two things when you practice dentistry.
It's good dentistry.
Yeah, practice good dentistry or high level dentistry. And second thing is make sure that you put your full dedication when you focus, and you put your full dedication in your work. Right, that is very important.
And keep up to date. The times are changing, technologies are changing. You can't keep up with the conservative. I know, I don't know, in college level they tend to, we keep to the basic, we keep to this thing. But once you come out, try to keep up technology. Like you try to keep up with what is good, what is new, what is developing. It is very important, because like 70% to 80% of clinics will just practice the conservative, the common practices. But you want to stand out. You want to you have to join, you have to see what is the social media. There's social media everywhere. It's just easy access to everything. So we are lucky enough to have that. So I think we should always keep up, be updated with what is going on.
All right.
Let's go to the next section.
Yeah.
What's
There's
the question, guys?
There's another question also from this when you, I think. Hi doctors, do we have to clear 2 parts of MFDS to get enrolled in the postgrad program?
Oh, okay. Okay. MFDF program is basically like a cutoff point to show that you have something extra qualification to enter postgraduate program. So for me, maybe last time you don't have to do it, but currently due to the competition and to standardization, so you have to do it. Okay. For example, in Malaysia, you can do either MFDS Part 1, Part 2, or you can crisscross MFDS, MFD, same thing, or you can do basic medical science. Okay, that is available in UM. Okay, other than that, this MFDA is recognized in most of the countries, okay, like UK, Europe, etc. Australia and even Singapore, Australia and New Zealand, they have their own membership program. They call it brackets, similar, FRACDS, brackets. It's also Part 1, Part 2 is there. Yeah, even like you want to go to overseas, like from Malaysia, you want to do a post graduation in UK. So the first thing they're going to ask you is, do you have any extra qualification? So it is a must. For me, I would say it is a must. And plus, I think, like in Singapore, okay, I was giving a talk. I think this talk I was giving it around 4 years back for one of the dental student circle. All right. So I was invited by my very good friend Billy Chong. Okay. So he invited me to doing a talk. So initially we have I was the main not the main speaker, I was the opening speaker. So the main speaker was Dr. Firdaus, who is an OMFS specialist, and we have Dr. Domicum. He's a super GP from Singapore. Okay, super GP. That means he's like a specialist by himself, but just not qualified. But we call them a super GP. Okay, so they do awesome work. So when before they gave that talk, I was giving my MFDS talk. What's important? So Dr. Firdaus said, yes, MFDS is important for you to do post graduation. Dr. Domicum is actually in his 60s, and he told in Singapore, for you to get job opportunity in private clinic, it is kind of like a must to do your MFDS. So most of them have it there. So you see, it's good because that is how you know that you stand above other rest of your colleagues, right? So it's something, it's a proper certification where you can use it as a title by itself behind your BDS or DDS, MFDS. And imagine being a member of RCS, Royal College of Surgeons. It's very prestigious, man.
Yeah.
So it's a.
Do you want to elaborate on MFDS a bit or later?
Maybe later we'll elaborate that later. We'll settle
Yeah.
all the questions and the criteria and we'll elaborate on that. All right. So yeah, hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Doctor. There's actually a question in the Q&A box. It's from an anonymous attendee. The question is, hi doctors, is digital dentistry very costly, and how to start with digital dentistry?
Okay. Yeah, digital dentistry is very costly. True, I do agree with that. But as the current time going on, when I first went to digital dentistry has been there for past 20 plus years. It's like you do not know that. Okay. So when I got to know about digital dentistry around, I'm quite new in digital dentistry, so maybe I would say around 5 years time I've been practicing. So when I first encountered digital dentistry, one scanner used to be around 150,000 ringgit. But after 5 years, now you can get one scanner for 60,000. Okay, it cut price half the price down already. So it's getting cheaper and cheaper. So obviously, when you want to learn, you can't straight away go ahead and learn, right? So what you do, you attach to clinic which has digital dentistry. They will be happy to help you. You have digital dentistry clinic, digital dentistry lab. Go attach with them during your GAP or during after working Saturday, Sunday. Just go once a month, attach and learn the knowledge. And then slowly pick up the skill and then work with them and then own your own. So it goes like a process. Unless if you're blessed with some financial support, then it's different story. If you don't go, you go like that. Because many company also does a loan. They loan you the digital dentist, the sets. Okay, like you have a patient you want to do, you can loan it, you can bring it to your clinic, they'll come. You just pay a very small amount, like 100 ringgit per patient, and that also the patient going to pay for it, right? So scan everything. Or if you go to Dental City, they have this co-works place. In the co-work place, they have full digital dentistry set up there. So you can just call them up. They say, I want to practice digital dentistry. I have my patient. Bring a patient there. Inform them. They will have their doctors like Dr. Huda, Dr. Cheng are there to help you guide on digital dentistry. All right, that's not an issue at all. So there's always a pathway. Okay, just that you have to know.
You have to find. Yeah. I think you have to find out, like, who is practicing, and you can always approach them because you are just freshly grads, right? So they have no issue with that. You can always approach them. Learn what is it first before you try to venture yourself. Like want to purchase or you want to do it yourself. I think you first have to attach and this experience to the observe and experience to the other specialist or dentist whoever is practicing it. Then you get more idea. Then you can go ahead and incorporate in your clinic and all that, so in your practice.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, we talked about MFDS just now. I understand that it is an exam that is required to be taken if we wish to further our studies. Since you are an MFDS trainer, do you mind telling us where do we register if we are interested and the passing rates?
All right, that's perfect. So both of us are trainers, me and Dr. Meghna.
Oh, sorry.
Both are trainers.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, both are trainers. So basically, in Malaysia, I'm the pioneer and basically the only one who's doing this course actually. So it's a very theory based part one and part two. So MFDS stands for Membership in Faculty of Dental Surgery, MFDS, Royal College of Surgeons. So they have three Royal College of Surgeons which provides the exam. Right, one you have the Royal College of Surgeons of England, second one Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh, and third one Royal College of Surgeons of Ireland. So all will have their part one is theory and part two is practical. You can crisscross each other, doesn't matter. Okay, you can do MFDS part one from England and you can crisscross to part two for the Ireland. So either one you can do it because they all come under the same roof, Royal College of Surgeons. So this is basically to tell that a paper telling that you are qualified as a general practitioner. That means it's a benchmark tell that you're a very good general practitioner. Okay, so you can register in your own website. You can just go into MFDS Edinburgh, MFDF England, MFDF Ireland. You just go and register. They have their part one exam. All of them will have their part one exam, part two exam almost the same time. Their part one exam either will be in April and September. Their part two exam will be on March and October. Every year twice. The passing rate is passing rate is between 60 to 70%. Because they have to qualification. Okay, they want you to have a standard field where they won't pass everyone up. Okay, they in a year they only will make sure that 30 to 40% only will be awarded MFDS titles. So it's a whole world exam. Okay, so it's not that easy, but it's very doable. A lot of our Malaysians are capable of doing it. Right, especially nowadays we have courses to conduct, to teach, to help them. Okay, so it's not the issue at all to help, right? So for sure, yeah. For any more info, you guys can just directly contact me or Dr. Magna. Okay, should not be a problem. Right.
Sorry, I was charging my laptop.
All right.
No worries, Doctor. Dr. Magna, would you like to add to that?
Basically, I don't have MFDS qualification. I just give my give lecture in radiology part of it, aspect of it, oral medicine and radiology aspect of it. So this is something that even I'm planning to do right now because I'm a bit busy with my research. But so I'm like planning to do on. They have postgraduate specialist MFDS degree also. So I'm planning to do that. So I think that it's a really good degree to everyone can it will just give you a notch above the sea of dentists we have right now. We just give a notch above that. So I think this even I'm planning to do it. So I don't have the degree. So I think Vinesh is more qualified to speak on that. But yes, we are conducting courses and we are giving sample question papers. Because you don't get hold of all these MFDS question papers anywhere in the net or anything. It's just something that the students have gone, written the exam, they kind of get back to us and they're like, okay, these are the questions that came. So we kind of help with the sample question papers. We solve, we go through every question. So I think the passing rate has been quite good so far in the classes. So yeah.
Pass,
so
yeah. I mean that's a different story for different people.
No,
I think you're asking one of the what is
passing rate? Yeah.
So that's
passing rate, I think if any of the audience wants to sign up for MFDS, you all already know where to go to. You can go to Dr. V and Dr. Magna.
You can know if there is any freshly grad or are everyone undergraduate students?
Sorry, the audience is it, Doctor?
Anyone in the audience are graduate postings? I think Sky is there. I saw Sky.
Yeah, just now I think I see a few doctors here.
Alright, that's good.
Because you guys are fine because you're still undergraduate, so you don't have to break your that. But it's just good to know that.
Yeah, it's good to know.
This session is about okay, you should do that right now. It's not about that.
It's more
like
about
okay, I noticed. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. To see later. So.
Yeah, actually, I know a number of my friends wants to continue their studies and they want to know more about MFDS, but we can continue that later. For now, just now, Dr. Magna, you mentioned that you were doing a lot of research. So for everyone's information, our speakers, both of them have published a number of journals as mentioned, they're known nationally and internationally. So the next question is, what would be your advice to those who would like to venture into research? Our school right now is doing like, we're gonna do research presentation and research presentation. So we would like, yeah.
Okay, so I think one important thing to just when you are doing or you want to venture into research, one thing that you always keep in mind, you don't have to be, what is that word? Pioneer, or what do you say the word? The pioneer, is it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like you don't have to be the main person to do the
I mean, you
research.
don't have to
Yeah.
be the inventor. Don't break your head into like, oh, this is something that I didn't discover. Not everybody can discover something new thing, right? So when you want to do a research, first is you have to know how to read a paper first, right? So you have to critically analyze the paper. So one trick to read a research paper is, or you always see, you'll have your certain things, right? Introduction, materials and method, the statistics part, results and discussions, right?
Yes.
So if you want to find a research topic, are you guys trying to find research topic for your studies in that process, or you already have research topics, or are you given research topics for that?
We already have our research topic, but
Then
maybe in the
it's okay.
future we want to do more.
Okay, fine. I just just a short trick or tip to how to find something that in the discussion part they'll always at the end they'll always have the scope of future studies, future research. If you read through the research papers in the discussion part, they'll always, like, after they have discussed all their results, their findings and all that, they'll always give the last para. They'll always have a limitation of their research studies or a future scope of the research. That is where you can always venture into, like, okay, this is something that is a future scope of research. So that is something that if you don't have a topic of research, okay, since you all have a topic of research, I think now you're primarily interested in how to make the research proposal, is it?
Yes, doctor.
Research proposal. So basically your research proposal, how to say, when you're preparing that, you have to know what is scientific language, okay? You have to know a little bit on how to write. You have to know a little bit on the scientific language. It's not something that you casually, write or something like that. They have certain things like, of how it is written. I think online you can find manuals of, or in there are articles also, a lot of articles where how to do a research writing that is a scientific way of writing. So you have to know that will give you, set you apart from a person who is just writing, they don't know the scientific way of writing. Then that is what they will see in a research proposal. And then obviously you would know in a research proposal you need all that, your research questions, your hypothesis, your alternate hypothesis, your non-null hypothesis. That I feel, I can't tell everything what you need to do in a research paper, but this is something that you should know about and maybe join courses. There are a lot of courses, I think, how to, I think in your college also they would conduct something about research writing and all, would they?
For us?
Yep.
Yeah. We have
Yeah,
like
got
a
doctor.
few courses.
So
Yeah.
you know all
Yeah.
that.
So that's the
Yeah.
basic
Yeah,
of research. Another thing, talking about research also, that's another career pathway you guys can think of. Being a researcher, yeah.
Okay.
So, example like your dental material company again. Not. I'm not branding out or 3M or whatever sponsoring me. Just telling example like 3M company, DC company. Okay, I'm not quoting their name because they're sponsoring me. Nothing as such. Just that all these materials are your composites, your bonding. All these are actually made by dentists. So you guys can join researchers in private companies as well. Maybe Dr. Mekna want to tell about joining as a research in universities. The
I
pathway.
think
There's
the
a
question
pathway.
is more like how to approach right now for the research proposal, right? Or
Yeah, both. Yeah, you can just tell them a bit.
both.
Yeah, how to join research also as a career pathway. Maybe you can tell on that a bit.
I thought it's more about like you
Both,
guys
both.
are what to say, preparing a research proposal in that way.
No,
So
it's
that's
not
what
specific, doctor.
Yeah.
It's just like even if any students want to venture into researches, what would your advice be to them?
Mm.
Venture as a researcher. That is something like, it's more of like, what to say. Okay, if you want to venture into researcher, one thing is like after you finish your graduation, you can always attach as a researcher in any universities. Any universities you can attach as a researcher. It's just that you have to go to their web page, like you go UITM, or any universities that you want to go, and then see what projects they're doing. In the web page, everything will be there. What are the projects that they are doing? And if you're interested in particular project, you can always approach them. Okay, and sometimes they'll give out a lot of ads. Researcher required to help in this study, this and that, and they will pay also. So that is one way you can do if you want. If you are like, okay, I want some pocket money and also gain some experience in research, you can always join as a research assistant. Okay, I have our friends also, like who have joined like immediately after her graduation. She's already doing her research assistant for a really good study, very good study. It's a pioneer's work now, right now, by Dr. Hamid in Resto, actually. So they are trying to find a form a new classification for what to say, root canal. The root canal morphology. Yes, root canal morphology. So they're trying to find a new classification that will be so this friend of mine, who's a freshly graduated, she approached herself. So it's about your decision. No one is going to tell, come join us and all. You have to approach. Don't feel shy, don't feel hesitant. If you're not going to be an opportunist, you're not going to make it. So you have to, she approached directly, like, give me anything. And you have to be, like, you can't be like, oh, I want to do this. I know if you want to gain experience in research, like you just have to show your, what to say, your interest and your, this thing. So just approach them, that just give me something in that. So your name will come in paper. So that's how you get a lot of papers. You will see a lot of young people, 20, 30 publications. Why? They're just giving a small part. They're just playing a small role in the paper, right? But they are assisting, they are helping out, and in that way you're already making your name in the university. So when you are, and your resume is getting strong also together, right? You'll have your results, experiences, and when you want to join the particular university, they'll just absorb you, like, no, she's good, she has done research, she has
They know
given
you.
they have known you. Main factor is they should know you first, right? If they don't know you, that's it. They should know you, and then they have like, yeah, she has been an active role, she has been in the meetings, this and that, and then they'll just absorb you. It's just very like, because there's so much lack in people who are interested in research,
It's a good
because
scope.
so it's a very good
venture.
scope if you're really interested in it. So
And also don't forget your research. Make sure you just not do a research, make sure you publish it and
yes,
present it. Presentation.
presentations. That's very important.
Conference. Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah, like, if you just keep on doing research, there's no point if you don't have evidence of it. What's the evidence that you did some study? What's the evidence? So you have to publish, you have to present. So
thank you, Doctor. We have one question from our Facebook Live from our very own Dr. Fawaz. He directed this question to Dr. V. How can we plan our dental career in UK? Is MFDS helpful?
Okay. So first of all, see if you're planning to go to UK, MFDS will help you. Okay, like I said, first of all, their qualifying exam or NBE is similar syllabus as your MFDS. Your part two, they also have part one, similar syllabus. So if you already completed your MFDS and you already passed your part one, part two, and you want to retake the exam just in a different name, it will be a smooth journey for you. First of all, correct. Second thing, even after you passing your MFDS, okay, you need people to even after passing your qualifying exam in UK. Do you think anyone in UK will take you in as a dentist? No, they do not know you. You're a foreigner. So you have the MFDS. It will give you you're like, oh, this boy is good. Like he's done his NBE and also have done his MFDS with his UK syllabus. So they know that you know the work in and out. Then they'll take you in. Because why? In UK, they're very important of the medical legal purpose. The medical legal is very important. They have different rules. They have NHS rule. Even for the payment, they don't say ringgit. They don't even say pound. They say, oh, the payment is band 1, band 2, band 3. Different treatment comes in different category. So you have to know all about that. So So your MFDS helps there. All right. Another thing, once you join in UK with MFDS, is also open pathway for you to do a specialization program there. All right. We have like a lot of specialists who are there working. Example like Dr. Nazrin. Okay, Dr. Nazrin is a graduate, and she has done her MBBS and BDS, and she also have done specialty both in medical and dentistry. Everything UK based, you know. So yeah, you need that to put a notch on and move the pathway. Right?
Because if you do your MFDS, the university hiring you or taking you in will already know that, okay, you know the system, what works in UK, what is the system, you already have an idea, you know, compared to the other person who doesn't know. So MFDS is really, you know, like important in that way. They're like, oh, they already know the system, how, you know, it works in UK. So
apologies, not Dr. Nazri, the name, Dr. Nasi. Apologies.
Yes,
Almost similar name. Yeah. Dr.
She's a
Nasi,
surgeon.
Dr. Nasi.
Almost
Similar name.
now.
Almost, yeah, Nazri, Nasim, no, almost similar name. Just that Nazim has a R there, and Dr. Nasim doesn't has a R there. Same spelling, just one R is missing.
Oh, I see.
Yes, so
see.
so
she's a very
let me see.
qualified surgeon
she's
in UK from Malaysia.
Yeah. So she has done her BDS, MBBS, Masters in Science, Masters in the MD, which is Medical Masters, DOHNS, MF, MRCS, FDRCS, everything she's done. Oh my God, so long. And
so yeah, basically you will see MRCS, MFDS is a very common qualification that people have when they are going into higher specialization.
And Dr. Nasim Ghazali is no more. Her qualification is no more oral maxillofacial surgeon. She's considered as head and neck surgeon who does subspecialty in head and neck robotic surgery. The first one in the world.
Yes.
And she's Malaysian.
She's you know, the first ever woman also to, you know, be in robotic surgery. So cool, right?
Yes, very.
This is another
doctor.
to robotic surgery, you know, in you know, as a dentist. Imagine a dentist from Malaysia practicing robotic surgery in UK. So there is no, I feel like there is no, what to say, stop point for you guys. Like you can just grow. That's it. So,
yeah. Wow, that's really an achievement for that Dr. Nasi.
We were very fortunate to meet her actually. You know, she's a very busy person, but then we're very fortunate to meet her because she came for, you know, to give MFDS lecture. She was one of the lecturers.
Yeah,
I think she continues to be one of the lecturers.
Yeah, she's one of the lecturers in our this one. Even if she can't come to Malaysia, this time she's able to come physically. If she can't come, we'll do a live session for them directly with her.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that, doctor.
Yeah, she's good.
So we are so fortunate to have met her, you know.
Yeah.
So because she's not, she's based in UK. She'll just come for a holiday in Malaysia, so and then we grabbed her like.
I got all over.
Holiday.
Wow.
She's good. Hope that
Regarding holidays, doctor. Yeah, that answers the question very much. Thank you, doctor. Regarding holidays, I noticed from your IGs, that you guys always go traveling. You got adventure here and there. So both of you are working.
Yeah, true. Okay,
already got plans for the future already.
Yeah. I mean, we have 2 more trips upcoming. This one, I think we're going to go to Taiping next week. Next week, we're going to Taiping. The following, we're going to go to Ipoh. And I think after Raya, we'll be going to Penang to meet all the PIDC people also. We've planned that.
Looking forward to that, doctor.
Looking forward, doctor.
So, yeah, I mean, like, work, there's always, we call that as work-life balance. All right. So you work hard, you party hard. All right. So, you know, when you work, a lot, you have certain point where you reach a certain point, you can't even perform. You know, you're doing research.
Burnout.
Focusing something, call it burnout syndrome. So how do we do that? Go for short vacay, do something that you like. Like for us, we like to venture and find out new food basically, because we both are foodies, especially we are into Japanese food. So we try to go find some new Japanese restaurant, try that. And the best part is we come back and we try to make that at home. That's one of the things we do. Second thing, we do a bit of dental photographies and all that. So see green things and all that. And we are also involved very much in the Orang Asli social service. So we do go to Orang Asli Kampung a lot. So yeah, it's like a short you go see them. It's quite nice. It's quite peaceful. You know, imagine you go there, your phone doesn't work. they don't have network, and they don't even have electricity. So like it or not, you have to see around what is there, river or waterfall, go makan there. It's fun, it's fun, go take photos, it's fun. Other than that, we have, we're dedicated for two kittens. We have two cats, so that's one of our things. So yeah, work-life balance is
So
very
I
important.
feel it's important to make sure that you don't burn out. Otherwise, you'll hate what you're doing right now, right? You'll end up hating your own job or your own profession. So weekends is something that you do what you apart from dentistry, you will have some interest, some hobbies. So weekends is something that you can always use that so that you're just mentally more stable when you're going for the Monday to Thursday and Friday, to Monday to Friday grill. So at that comes, initially to feel like okay, it's overlapping and all that. The key is to just make sure, like your work and profession is not overlapping and it's not becoming one. What to say? What do you say?
To intertwine both together.
Yeah,
Don't intertwine
so
both together. Try to keep it separate.
that I think it's like from personal.
It differs people to
yeah,
people.
it differs from
People
people
to
to
people.
people.
Some people like baking. Some people love to go mountain climbing. Some people love to do skateboarding. Some people love to spend their free time on making TikTok videos, etc. So it's no harm, no harm making TikTok videos. No harm.
But I feel to say make yourself known, you have to be you guys are really active in social media. So I think it's
join some
becoming a very
associations. Join some associations
association.
like
Become a member of some
Toastmasters. Yeah, I think
yes.
Nazreen is in Toastmasters.
Malaysian dental.
Join your
Yes,
MBA.
doctor.
Join a lot of your
Yes.
social service like Rotary Club, Lions Club,
Yes.
St. John's Ambulance. All these, join them. Be fun, meet new people, new experience.
You need to meet people out of your circle. You
Yeah.
cannot hang out with the people of your own profession all the time. So that's the reason we are, we go into all this Rotary Club and all that, meet other people. So yeah, you have to get out and not hang out with your own profession all the time. So yeah.
Okay, Doctor, currently both of you are juggling between work and studies, right? In your opinion, doctors, does studying help in your clinical performance?
Not really.
No, not really. I mean, okay, when I work, when I study, I'm studying in all for MOP. So now even my work, I try to focus more on OMOP. So it does help me to improve more. It gives more insight of my OMOP work. So my work is getting more refined. Same thing like I do digital dentistry and AI. I deal with digital dentistry AI, and Dr. Magna also deal with AI. So we are getting into more AI research. So our digital dentistry and AI work also is getting more refined. So it helps. So now when I explain something to someone, last time it might be based on my experience or textbook, but now it's based on the research I'm doing, the publication I'm doing, and I have other specialist opinions. So now my talk is not only based on my experience and my experience textbook, it's more on wider broad scope. And we can see more things opening, So it helps. I think same for radiology also. Like Dr. Mekna is doing reportings and all that. So see, different companies have different systems. So now she's learning different systems to play with different things. So it will help. It will help. So education always puts you.
No, I think work environment matters a lot. Answering to your question with specifically, like I think work, the work environment matters a lot with the people you surround with, right? When you like working with the people you like you're with the companions you like, you don't want to hang out with people who pull you down, right? Who's
Yeah.
like who wants to do that? Like, oh, I'm too lazy or something like that. So you surround yourself companions where who wants to do something, who wants to make an effort in changing, who wants to make an effort in making a good career path. Because Vinesh has so many colleagues. They have joint ventures together, like Astana.
Yeah, Astana.
They're doing
Pasadena,
so
even
well.
Dental City.
Because you cannot do it.
Education,
Cannot if you want to be an entrepreneur in dentistry or you want to do something achieve big, you cannot do it alone. You have to know which company, the right company to start a project or start working. So yes.
I think there's one question for Dr. Meghna.
Yeah, there's a question in the Q&A box from an anonymous attendee. It's referring to Dr. Mengna. As a PhD scholar at UM, what do you do on a typical day? How is the PhD student life there?
PhD life. So for me, it's been how many? I just started actually in October 2021. So it's been quite a few months. So people say you're still in a honeymoon. Start of the PhD, it gets worse and worse and worse. But the thing in a typical day, I feel like I try to do something every day. It's so difficult, to because you're own. Nobody. You don't have any deadlines. You don't have any quota. Nothing. You're just on your own, right? You're doing your own research. Nobody is there to tell you anything. So what I try to do is to be consistent. I set up my workspace. A good workspace is good. You get a coffee and everything, and do something at least 1 hour in the morning. Do something very productive. I try to do something very productive, and then just hang out with other researchers, try to talk out what are they doing. It's very important what other researchers are doing and all that. So get to know what is because when you are in PhD, you need to know not just your own research. You need to know what everybody is doing. So it's a way you have to connect with people. So I think so far it's I don't think so it's that hectic like how master's student goes through or postgraduate student go through during the clinical hours. But that becomes challenging because it's entirely up to you. You have to be, I have to be like consistent, like, okay, I need to do my job. I need to, finish it in time. So, so far so good. If you have a good supervisor, everything is smooth. So I'm so blessed to have, Dr. Prabhakaran. You guys are aware of him. He is like a pioneer of forensic odontology, and Dr. Norliza, and two other Dr. Norsakina, Dr. Mohammed. So they are so good, and they have made my PhD journey so far so good. So I think supervisor is a very important factor. So when you are doing into research, take a background study of who your researchers are, how their projects have gone so far. If you have the opportunity to contact with one of the previous students before joining under them, try to get information on how they were as a supervisor, all that. Do your background study, then join. Don't just like join blindly.
Okay.
I think I diverged a little bit, but then I thought there's no point of telling my typical day. I thought I just incorporate something that you will find useful. So,
No, I
so,
think
yeah.
everything that you say is very helpful.
I
Doctor.
just drink my coffee, sit with my laptop, and just sit. That's it. So there's nothing interesting in my PhD life so far. But yeah, I'm learning new softwares, and all that. So I love learning new softwares. So we are learning new 3D softwares, Materialize, and EasyDent, 3D dimensional. So that is something very interesting that I'm doing right now. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
Let's
Doctor.
see.
Due to time constraint, that will be our last question for the day. So the question and answer now is officially closed. Thank you everyone for sparing your
Thank you
Saturday
so much,
morning with
everyone,
us.
for
Thank
all
you
your
everyone,
questions.
coming on a Saturday morning, spending time with us on a Saturday. Normally you guys want to go out, But now it's first.
And you want to hear to
Yeah, it's a second.
random researchers talk about
No,
their
two talented researchers.
We learn a lot, Doctor. We learn a lot. Actually, we
Yeah.
want to talk more, but we don't have time.
It's already April. It's already endemic. Everything is open. People like, oh no, I want to go out.
Yeah.
You guys at home and listening to us. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
spending time.
I
Thank
know,
you
I know.
for
We feel very blessed.
PIGC Virtual Circle and PIGC itself for inviting us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
for
coming,
listening.
Doctor. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah. We would like to also take this opportunity to inform everyone that if you wish to know more about Dr. Wee and Dr. Meghna, do follow them on their IGs. IG will be posted on later, and don't forget to follow us too for an update on our next Dent-Rewind episode or any activities. You can always find us at PIDC Virtual Circle on Instagram.
Before going, I just wanted to add, like, we are working on a website which is called Dental Diary. Vinesh is, a founder of Dental Diary. That is his platform where he gives his daily, not daily, like weekly ones. Monthly ones,
Yeah,
right?
weekly ones.
For now,
Weekly.
monthly once webinars or monthly
Yeah.
twice webinars. He invites a lot of eminent speakers on his platform, and it's free. So anybody, people, they have talked about, practicing good dentistry. They have talked about career pathways and a lot of new things like by biomimetics, for dental photography, like aesthetic, composite, lot. They
Even
have talked
research,
about,
how to start on
about
research and all that.
research.
So yeah, we are starting on our dental diary. Is going to go as a web page live bigger. So you guys can, like how we said, you guys want to know about the causes of what is happening all over, because we have Dental City, Dental Academy, Benchmark Dental Education, Horizontal Dental, Benchmark Dental Education, Pasaran. We all doing courses. So dental diaries will put all of their courses up. So it's a one platform that you guys just can click, go to the web page and register. Second thing is we also will be uploading all the free webinars. Whoever doing, not only whoever doing, will put it there so you guys can check it out. Third thing is we're going to upload a lot of books. Okay, we are writing on books, our research. Not only us, we're going to call a lot of others prominent specialists or dentists who are practicing good dentistry. We're going to ask them to write like a manual with photos, also upload there so you guys can think, okay, how to do rubber dam? Open that, okay, rubber dam by Dr. Sean. Open the manual. Oh, this is how you do rubber dam with photos, maybe with videos. And also, we're going to put another section going to be there like consult with specialists. So we're going to call some specialists or some general dentists who are interested in certain field. So you guys want to do restorative. Okay, restorative there. Oh, he does a lot of restorative. Click to his link example. We can email him, ask him about things. Other than that, we're also going to put like how we say job opportunity, research opportunity, which uni, which lecturers, who is finding for research. We're also going to put there. So, there's a research. They need a research assistant in restorative dentistry in let's say in UM. Oh, this person, click that, directly go to them. And it's all free access. Just go and click and connect to the world. That's
I
what we're
think
going to do.
it will be really very easy for us
Yeah,
who
it's a good
don't know how
initiative.
to,
The young dentists, because our time is fast. So this is actually for the new upcoming dentists. So
Thank
we
you,
It's much
doctors.
more.
just hope to contribute a bit towards
Because we
helping
went
the
through
younger
the difficulties. We went through the difficulty to find out what to do, how to go about. So at least you have that web
Yeah.
page, everything there. The click of your
So
phone,
it'll be
We
really
have to
nice.
catch
It'll
up.
be really nice. I hope it goes well, doctor.
everything at our
Thank you.
fingertips.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the host, for the panelists.
Yes.
Again,
For-
wonderful spending with PIDC people. Okay, very hardworking.
And thank you for inviting us, and it's a well organized session and everything. So
Thank you,
so
doctor.
much.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming.
See you, see you soon. Hopefully, we'll catch up. And keep
Yeah.
in touch.
Yeah, I'll just
Looking
share my
forward to
IG
that.
there.
Yeah,
Let's see
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe everyone can go to PVC's IG and try to find their IG handles through the post that we tag them in the poster.
Yes.
And so with that, we want from PVC, we would like to thank the audience. We couldn't do this without you. You guys are the reason why we're still here, and we will still be here for quite some time. And if there's any feedbacks or survey you guys wanted to tell us, do chat any of the PVC members and we will attend to it. So thank you. Any remaining unanswered questions, we will be working on it after this.
You can DM us.
DM us in
so
IG,
we
should
can
not be a
also, we'll
problem.
also try to answer the
Yeah.
best of our.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, doctors. See you
Okay.
soon.
Bye,
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, doctors.
For the Muslims,
Thank you, everyone.
happy
Selamat-
fasting
selamat.
and selamat puasa and
Salam
selamat
Ramadan.
Salam Ramadan and Selamat Hari Raya in advance, alright?
Thank you.
And
Wah,
good
thank you,
luck
doctor.
for your pathways, guys. Right?
Good luck. Don't worry.
Likewise,
All will
doctor.
Alright, bye-bye.
Thank you, doctors. Bye.